Hello, this is Michael McCarthy, and in this video we're going to take a look at Zookeeper and using it to select objects, manage layers, and use some of its new rename capabilities. So over here I have Zookeeper set up, and this is the way that I would use it in production very often to just go in and select different objects quickly, maybe select a bunch of them and hide them, freeze them, or even select one and parent objects really quickly and be able to see that in the view. We also have all of our filter icons up here and things like that. I can select them and make this arranged by name or by material, color, or anything of that nature. And we have our layers down here too, which we'll be looking at in a bit. Now, the first thing I want to do is I've created this scene kind of slipshod, just creating a bunch of objects really quickly. And I want to name these something so that when I build the scene a little bit later, it will be pretty quick and easy for me to recognize what the objects are. So I've selected all the objects for the desk, and I'm just going to right click and say select and rename. The new rename dialog has a bunch of different options here that we can take a look at. So I'm going to choose currently selected, and if we just have everything selected that we want, we don't really need to find anything. We can just replace what we have. So I'm going to name these desk, and you can see that there is before rename and after rename. So any of the things that we set up here we'll be able to adjust and be able to see exactly what will happen as we rename them. Over here we also have some different indexes that we can name. So we could use creation order or index type or the actual name. I'm just going to use index so that it will enumerate these really quickly. So now I've pretty quickly identified the ones that I want. I'll just click on rename, and I'm going to go in and select a couple of these other objects. So I'm going to select all these objects, which are brushes, and pretty much do the same thing and rename those. And then we'll select these guys, which are some pencils. I'll rename all those and just grab these push pins here and make some pretty short work out of renaming all these. We also have some options here to use a prefix, a suffix, or anything like that. So I'm going to grab all these things. I'm going to get rid of this replace with and just say that I want to add in a prefix. So we'll call these tools, add a little underscore in, and then we have that set there. I could add a suffix too, so if these were something for a rig, maybe I could add control or something like that. And for now I think the tools will be good, so I'll rename those and then hop back out of this. And what I might do is just kind of grab this cup and now talk about some of the presets that can be added. So if this was something in the scene that I wanted to have a prefix of maybe rig, and put an underscore in there, and then a suffix of control for control objects, and I'll put that in there. And this was something I used all the time. I can just go down here and type this in. So rig control, and I'll just say either select or rename to add that. And now this preset has been added, so I can get rid of all this stuff. And now anytime I want to go down here and pick this preset, all those things will be restored for me. So if I have things that I rename all the time in certain ways, things from this to anything that we might replace with any of the indexes will all get saved with presets, and even if we're using some expressions. So let's take a quick look at using some regular expressions here, because that's another great feature in this rename dialog. I'm going to just say use regular expressions, and let's just find our push pins, and we'll match the current view. So here's all the push pins, and what I want to do is with regular expressions I'm just going to make push pin two selected objects, and then I'm going to ask it to basically change this hump naming into one with an underscore inside. So I'll say $1 underscore and then $2 underscore, and that'll add an underscore. Oops, we'll put in pins here between all of these guys. So regular expressions can be really great to rename a lot of different things. I'll just get rid of that underscore and rename them. Another interesting thing that you could do is you can see that some of these have been renamed with numbers, and maybe we want to add an underscore near that number. So we could go ahead and put in something like \d dot star, which is going to find any object with a number in it, and then I'm going to ask it to replace with underscore $1. So now it'll go and it'll find any of that number, any of those numbers using regular expressions, and it'll put an underscore in front of any set of numbers. So I'll rename all. And if I wanted to, if this was something I used all the time, I could always save this as a preset as we did before. So I think I'm pretty well set up with renaming all my objects here, and I just want to look at some of the filtering and selection methods. We have this type in filter, which is really useful. I'm just going to go in and type in desk, and you can see the desk comes out here, and it just filters anything that is named desk. And then I'm actually going to click on this filter item in order to toggle between just filter and select. So I'm just selecting these, and with them all selected, I'll create a new layer, and automatically they get added to the new layer, which I can rename. And then I'll go back and I could select things like pencil, and it would select anything named pencil, or I could put in tool and it'll select all of our tools, so we can put all of our tools into a layer. So I'm just going to add that to a layer, and we'll call these tools. So that's a couple of things that you can do using Zookeeper to select, rename, organize into layers. It's really great when managing huge scenes with a lot of different objects, and just an everyday workflow for ease of use, selecting, hiding, renaming, setting different properties on objects as well as different properties on layers. Thank you very much.